Hey Math 20-1 students, we're going to look at the assignment that I posted. So your Monday task is to finish your Desmos performance task. So this is the instructions to be able to do that. So you're going to go into classwork, and then you're going to click on the performance task above and then read the instructions. So what you guys should see is this. So you can either print it off or just write your answers on line paper and then just take a picture of it and submit it once you're done. So what you're doing is you are going to open Desmos. There's a link that I provided on that Monday task stream that I want you to do it there. So you're going to click on the Desmos link that I've provided on the Monday task. So what you're going to do is you're going to upload a picture. You're going to find a picture of a parabola, and you are going to click on that little plus sign, and that once you find a picture and you put it into your photos, you should be able to upload that into Desmos. And then you're going to center it wherever you want to, and then what you want to do is you're going to create a slider for A, P, and Q by typing the vertex form equation. And then what you want to do is, once you have sliders created, you are going to adjust your A, P, and Q so that it fits your point as best as possible. Okay, so you want to see what the values could be. Once you found the best parabola possible, you can click on to see the point that lies on the parabola, and you'll use those coordinates of the vertex and one other point to answer the next question, which is the calculation to determine A. So I'll show you what I mean. So you guys are going to open Desmos using the link that you provided, or I provided in Monday task. Then you're going to go to plus sign. But before you do that, you want to go into your computer or your iPad and search up parabola pictures in real life. Now find a picture that looks like a nice parabola. So I'm just going to pick this one. If I pick this one, you guys cannot pick this one. So I'm going to select this guy. I'm going to screenshot this picture. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back to Desmos, and I'm going to press the plus sign and say image. And I'm going to go to my photo library. This is from my iPad. And then insert the picture. Press done. And what it will do is insert it. You might need to zoom in or zoom out for that picture. And then what you can do is if I click on it, it gives me these arrows, and I can move it around using the middle circle. I can move the parabola around however I want. So maybe if I want the parabola here, that's what I'll do. Now you're going to create the equation. You're going to write the equation y equals, you're going to use the letters A bracket x minus p squared. You're going to close the bracket, press squared, and then plus q. So this is the vertex form of the equation. You're going to add sliders for all. And what you're going to do is adjust your sliders until it matches as best as possible to your graph or your parabola. So I'm adjusting it until it matches my picture. Okay, so that's not bad. So you can try to adjust it a little bit more if you want to. So I'm going to go from maybe 4.8. Yeah, that's a little bit better. 4.8. Okay. So once you have your parabola matching your picture, now you're going to click on where you think the vertex is. And I'm going to touch that point, and it's going to give me the points 2.6 and 4.8. So my vertex 2.6 and 4.8, I'm going to write that down. .6 and 4.8. So this is going to be labeled as my P and Q, and then we're going to pick one other point on our parabola. So I'm going to pick maybe this point right here, 0.151 and 0. 0.151. So once you have those points, you're going to use the notes that I provided. So you should have already watched the videos from lessons, from your quadratic lesson. So if you've done that, then you'll be able to continue, because this is, I'm just going to tell you what lesson that you should be looking at specifically for this example. So if you want an example of what to do next, then you're going to go into lesson 3.1b. So lesson 3.1b. Example number 1 could help you do that. The example number 3 could help you do that. What you're doing is you're trying to create the vertex form equation by filling in your A, your P, and your Q. Okay, so once you have those filled in, that's what I'm looking for. And then they just want you to rewrite what answer you have here. So whatever answer you get by filling in your A, your P, and your Q, you'd fill into number 1. And then you want to write your parabola into standard form. And to do that, you're going to use lesson 3.2, number 2b to do that. So to go from vertex form to standard form, if you look at lesson 3.2, number B, 2b, you'll see how I did it, and that's what they want in this example here. The next one, number 3, they want you to give as much detail as possible, and that's from using lessons 3.1a and lesson 3.1b. Okay, so if you use those two lessons, the characteristics that I'm asking for is I want you to state what the vertex is. I want you to state if it's a max or min value, and what is it? What is that value? I want you to give me the axis of symmetry, the equation of axis of symmetry. So these are characteristics of a parabola. I want you to label them. The direction of the opening. I want you to tell me if what the A, the P, and the Q are doing. For example, like the transformations. So that was the first lesson that we looked at, the investigation. Is it going to the upwards or downwards? Is it going left or right? Is it being stretched, or is it becoming more narrow? So is it going wider or more narrow? So those are things you can also specify. The domain, the range, and then the y-intercept. So those are things that you can give me, and the x-intercept. So any information, the more information you give me here, so fill up this page to show that you understand the main features of a parabola and what it looks like. Okay, so that's what they're asking you for example 3. So anything that you've learned so far in this this lesson, like in this one, if you want to show how to go from standard form to vertex form, that would be good. So like anything from lessons 3.1a all the way to 3.3, show me what you know by applying it to your parabola equation. And then for number 4, you're kind of answering a question. For example, what I would point you to would be something like lesson 3.1b. Look at example number 6. Okay, so a more basic question is if you say, let's say you're hanging something on this shape. Like we know that mine is like this steel kind of structure here. So let's say I wanted to put a banner across. Okay, So what you could be asking is, if I know that the banner is 5 feet away from the wall, how high is the banner off the floor? In our case, the ground. So that could be the question. And then you would show your work and show how you would solve for that. Okay, so you can look at example number 6. Now, another question that you could ask yourself would be, so there's lots of things that you can see is maybe you can figure out if you're given the height, what is the distance away from the wall? That would be a harder question, and that's something a little bit more advanced. You would have to actually do some research in how to get that information. Okay, so I won't tell you how to do that one, but this one's the acceptable standard. And then if you do something a little bit more, so you find out maybe, remember how we have all this, like these questions from, let's see, maybe you can be asking what's the domain and range of the situation. So I'm just asking you to make a scenario where you would have to figure out the height or the width or something that applies to your scenario. So for example, mine's a banner off the ground that I am trying to hang. It could be anything as long as you're trying to create a real world example. So I hope that explains it to you. So once you're done this, take a picture of your answers. It can be on lined paper, written out, or it can be scanned in, whatever. Like it can be from printed paper. Take a picture of it, submit it. Please try to submit it through the Google Classroom site. If not, then email me, but try to do it there first so that way I have them all in one place. I don't want them getting misplaced, okay? Have a nice day, guys.